This is just a little extra walkthrough on the alto clef and the tenor clef. These clefs are collectively known as C-Clefs because the shape of this clef has C in the middle of it. So like right in like the crease of this number 3 looking thing is middle C. So in the alto clef, that's what this one is. Middle C is right in the middle. On the tenor clef, middle C is up here, kind of like where F would be for the bass clef, but that's middle C, so it's higher in the staff. The reason that we have a separate alto clef and tenor clef is for instruments whose ranges don't fit easily on a tenor clef, or sorry, on a treble clef or a bass clef. It also really makes sense so like for all of you altos, you know most of the notes you're reading are often like at like middle C and below, or like middle C in the bottom half of the treble clef. This would put your most of your range into one staff because middle C is right in the middle. So it eliminates the need for ledger lines is the big reason why. Now, these fell out of practice. We don't use these for singing anymore. They kind of stopped using them like in like the mid 1700s, early to mid 1700s, but they still stick around. There are some instruments that still use these. Violas use the alto clef all the time, and they basically live on the alto clef. And cellos use the tenor clef sometimes, as do sometimes trombones. And that also makes sense because the viola is basically the alto of the string instrument, and the cello is basically the tenor of the string instruments. You have your bass, cello, viola, and violin are basically a bass, tenor, alto, and soprano. So those instruments line up with it. So they still use them, but for singers we don't. But I thought it'd be maybe fun to learn them for what we're doing. Your basic note reading skills can help you out with doing these. So I drew my middle C here. Let's go back to this one. Middle C is right in the middle with the alto clef. And if I go up, then I just go up to the next letter in the alphabet. So if that's C, then this is D, E, F, C, D, E, F. If I move down from that middle C, I work backward. B, A, and then G down here, etc. Okay, so that's the alto clef. The tenor clef, once you know the basic idea behind it, it's pretty easy, right? Middle C is here. That'd be B, A, G. So this G is the top G of the bass clef. Right? So that G right there on the bass clef will be written up there. All right, here's middle C. I go up from there, I get D, E. So you can see like what tenors, top notes are usually E or F, right? Which would be right here, E and F. So it helps fit your notes onto the staff. Now, right, this is middle C. If we were in the treble clef, right, you could write a C just right here. So that's why tenors tend to just use a treble clef, because it basically fits the exact same range as this tenor clef. Is just as an octave down. The alto clef is probably a little bit more useful for singing. But anyway, so these are the C clefs, alto and tenor clef. Now you know. We don't use them that often, but if you ever encounter one and as an older music, there you go. You'll have these right in front of you in your brain, so you can recall them. So that's it for the C clefs.